With the release of Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the meta has definitely shaken up quite a bit. So we're going to be weakest colors to use. So let's hop straight into it. So as always, before we start off any of these tier list videos, we have to give a quick shout out to DNG for providing us with this tier list with all the updated units such as Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, as well as the previous units, Android 16, Super Vegeta, Super 17. Here we have the list. We have all the tiers: red, blue, purple, yellow, green. I'm just going to be placing 5 units in each tier. So here we have our 5 red units. So we have Super 17, Ultimate Gohan or Transforming Beast Gohan, Ultra Vegito Blue. Some of the best teams in the game. You can honestly argue that GT is the best team in the game right now, and obviously he fits on it. Androids is a very good team as well. He fits on it. So individual kits in the game just straight up is just non-stop damage. The green card is very toxic. The green card, however, I want to point out is obviously very toxic, right? And it does, like, if you land it, it's basically a guaranteed kill on anyone. But the green card itself, I don't want to value it too much, but also you don't want to undervalue it because it's very good, right? Beast Gohan, obviously extremely powerful. He's been powerful since he dropped. Some could also argue he's over 17, especially with the release of Ultra Gohan, right? He has a very good partner in Gohan being a green unit. And he's just so easy to use. You just click cards, get your Vanish back, you get neutral, you get blue card, big damage. He's really, he's like a jack of all trade B. That might be crazy, just only because her usage right now is through the roof, whereas UVB is not really seeing playtime that often. His main team obviously being Fusion Warriors, and you're better off running Super 17 instead of him. Flip-flop between the regular PvP and this. So I don't want to put too much emphasis on Ready Match Proud, especially since, you know, we have Super Vegeta here, but if we were to strictly take into account Ready Match Proud, a couple other Trunks, this red Zenkai Revival Cell, like these units actually see more playtime, in my opinion, from what I've seen in PvP right now, than Super Vegeta, who's practically homeless. You don't really see Vegeta Clan that often. You're basically only fighting androids, GT, Saiyans, hybrids. That's pretty much all you're fighting. Even Uni-Reps right now is not really seeing that, right? Grade 8 Vegeta also is a good candidate to toss in there, but like I said, this guy above, right? So this is going to be my top 5 red. Like I said, Pan also, I forgot to mention this, but Pan is, her usage rate just doesn't ever want to drop. Like, I thought we would see less of her. We did kind of see less of green Ultra Gohan, double reds with Pan Beast Gohan, and Ultra Gohan is just a disgusting hybrid trio there. She's on. I don't know when she's gonna fall off. I don't know when. Like, obviously her damage output, it could be builder full defense because she's not gonna be doing the most damage. I would rather her last longer in the fight than her dishing out damage, because there's no point in her dishing out damage, right? We have Ultimate Gohan and Ultra Gohan there to do the damage, so I build her more defensively. But it's just so invaluable, and I honestly do not know when she's gonna fall off. It's like a similar case to Green Vados. If you guys were playing when she was meta relevant, she was always used because her support was crazy, and I feel like this Pan lasted maybe a year, not even a year. I don't think a year. She kind of fell off. For now, I think she definitely deserves her top 5 in the red category here. That's gonna be the red units. Let's move on to blue units. So now we have the blue units here, and what I'm gonna do here is for Goku and Bardock, I'm also going to have him in the green category. I'm going to probably find like another Bardock or Goku unit to replace him with, but they're going to be counted in the blue and green category. So obviously I'm going to have them at the number 1 spot. So I wouldn't say he was underrated. He was actually like top 3 in most people's tier list. So actually scratch that. He was not underrated, but I think more people are seeing his value as time goes on. I saw some people having it prior to, I guess, Super 17's release. I've seen him being put at the number 1 spot even. Just because of how annoying he is. His green card seemingly has an endless stock of green cards, and just being paired with UI Goku and now the Ultra Gohan, it's just his value, their value, I keep saying his, but their value is not going to be going down anytime soon. They're just more than my initial impression back when he first released. Obviously his team has gotten better, but him as a unit, I think he's definitely one of the more annoying units I face. He's on the team with Super 17. Don't get me wrong, Super 17 is very annoying to face, but he's pretty easy to deal with also, right? But if you get caught in a combo by Super 17, it's like kind of lights out there. But GT Goku just holds the team together. He's essentially a 17 but a modern version of 17. And I think that's what a lot of people thought he was going to be when he first released, and he fulfills that role perfectly well on GT. He runs on Sun Family / Saiyans. You could run double blue with Goku and Bardock's GT Goku and UI Goku. I've seen that setup being ran quite a bit, and he's just overall a very good unit, and I think he's going to be the glue for GT for a long. Ultra Gohan dropping here, and he gets incinerated very, very easily is what I've come to notice. His damage obviously has dropped down a bit, but it can still be like his unique gauge is very annoying, ceiling, all that stuff. So that's why he's there. So that's why he still has that value, right? Because Android is very popping right now. So 17, he works alongside Super, and you can even leader start Ultra Gohan on Androids, and you know, Android 17 provides value there. So he's definitely gonna keep his value. But if we're to look at a top 10 perspective, I haven't really made a top 10, so I don't think he would make it. But for now, I think he's comfortably in the top 5 spot. And then we have Janemba and Beast Gohan. These two wouldn't be considered like top 10, but I've struggled to find another blue unit that can really be replaced instead of them, but I couldn't. So they're there. They've seen increased value with the Rating Match Proud, obviously. Now, I did say I wasn't gonna put too much stock in Rating Match Proud, but in this case where I couldn't really get another blue unit that would be as meta relevant as them, so I decided to go with them. Especially with these red units running around here, he can be kind of annoying. But then you got to also remember that there's a bunch of green, so he has something to worry about. But he's still very good. Like I said, he runs on movies mainly. During regular PvP scene, I don't think he's going to be seeing much pretty damn well. And honestly, they're pretty much filler units who value purple units simply because of UI Goku. I don't remember the last time a single unit completely invalidated a whole color. Like the lock-in and hope you don't die, which is not going to happen because you're going to die. You're going to die to the ultimate. So if you're a purple unit, yeah, you should probably be scared. I think you'd rather bank on him not being able to combo you fully to kill you. Be evaluated once we have all the units here, but purple from going to be the best color in the game prior to Legends Festival to now probably being the weakest color, it is insane how much has changed, right? But we're going to go through this list. Perfect Cell obviously being the best one on this list. Androids better than any team these guys are on, and he's still good. It's the opposite of downplay, upplay. It's kind of hard to value these guys because of value has decreased a bit because uni reps is not used that much, but he still gives in the work. And also, I didn't mention this, but we did get a pretty strong green unit, so maybe I guess you have to give them some value, right? Because you're gonna, and if you're going up against UI Goku, you want to have a red unit to like on your side to deal with that, and Perfect Cell has that partner in Super 17. You have the red Zenkai Cell that you can use as well. So he does have his partners there. Full Power Jiren is there. Bulla is there strictly because use red Pan instead. So she's there because she's pretty much the unit outside of Perfect Cell that I see the most in these purple units, because hybrid is pretty common in PvP, right? But strictly because Jiren, I think, is a better tanking unit if you're gonna go up against like Gohan, for instance. I think I have him above there, but Bulla, I think she's a comfortable 3rd spot. Ultra Gogeta Blue, he's in a similar position to like pretty much these guys here, where he's seeing use right now a bit just because of Rating Match Proud, but outside that, you're not really using him. He's mainly going to be used on Fusion Warriors. Fusion Warriors is mainly green, green, red. Movies, you're mainly going to be running like Beast Gohan, Pan, and then Revival Pikkon or something like that. So you're not really going to be using him. So it's really only in Rating Match Proud really affects these tier lists. I've just come to realize this, because this tier list would be a lot different if maybe not blue, because blue don't really have another unit you can toss in here, and I guess purple also. I guess it's mainly for the red units here. Like there's so many other red units I would put here instead of these guys. Revival Cell, Heat Dome Trunks you see so often. Revival Cell as well. Like these two you see so much more than these guys. But it's just that obviously these guys are just... Pan might be an out. Nah, Pan is just she's just way too common. She's just way too common to not be put there. Like even Grade A Vegeta, like it's pretty crazy how much of an effect that Ready Match Proud has on these tier lists. But obviously, I'm gonna try to like kind of exclude it. We're just gonna keep going with just traditional PvP in mind, and this is what I have for the top 5. Again, I didn't explain 17, but 17 obviously, I was tempted to put Go Frieza instead of 17. But I think 17 right now has a bit more value strictly because he can be used on androids as a pretty decent option, especially when you're going up against Gohan. He has the green card that nullifies endurance, so that can be really useful when going up against Gohan, right? He has a lock-in also that can help out. So I think that's why I have him over Go Frieza. But, you know, I wouldn't really be bothered if you put Go Frieza in here as well. You know, they can still put in the work, but you're not seeing them at all. I mean, same with the 17 Ultra Gogeta Blue. Like, I don't honestly mind if you put Go Frieza there instead. I personally am gonna leave it at 17. Do I want to put it at 17? You know what? I think I'm just gonna put Go Frieza, honestly, because his kid is still leagues better than him. But he's on Unireps mainly, man. I think I'm just gonna put 17. It's just the androids value is just way higher than Unireps right now, so we're gonna leave it like that. Feel free to disagree with me, but I think just strictly because of androids, I'm gonna leave it there. Even GT, you can run him on GT too. Like, I haven't seen him on GT, but shit, you can run him on GT and it would be pretty decent, right? So that's gonna be my top 5 purple units. Now let's move on to the yellow units. Okay, here we have the top 5 yellow units, and forming this top 5, I think yellow might actually be the worst color in terms of overall, like, actually it's tough, but we're just gonna go through it. Obviously, Ultra Instinct Saiyan Goku, Ultra UI Saiyan Goku is gonna be number 1, and he pretty much, there should be a gap between him and these guys, probably like by 5 spaces. He's the only yellow unit you're gonna see in PvP right now. Occasionally you'll see Gammas, and occasionally you'll see Pan. Actually, you know what? I've seen more Gotenks than Pan. I've seen more. I think I'm just gonna do this. I've seen more Gotenks than Pan. But is Gotenks a better option than Pan? He does have the endurance. What does Pan do? She's just a damage dealer. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have Gotenks above, because you don't. I've faced many hybrid teams. You do not see her at all. You don't even see her on a fucking GT team. So I think I'm gonna have Fat Gotenks over Pan and Giru, Trunks, is whatever the case may be. But let's just go over this Ultra UI Goku. I don't think there's much to say on him. Like, he's obviously by far the best yellow unit in the game right now. He's on some of the best teams in the game. Saiyan, Sun Family. Do I have to say more? Like, that's the Ultra UI Goku. He's definitely number 1. Gamma's obviously still a very solid unit, and they run on androids. So I think it's a no-brainer to have them on the team. They're always there. They might not be core anymore if we're to talk about traditional PvP, but in Ready Match Proud, I think I'm getting Ready Match Proud in. I'm gonna try to have them both influence the tier list, strictly because in certain cases you might not have like any strong enough units to fill these categories. Whatever. I'm just gonna keep going. Gammas right now are seeing a bit of playtime strictly because of Ready Match Proud, but outside of that, they probably wouldn't make core simply because you have far better units to use. Like I said, Super 17, MVP 17, Purple Perfect Cell. And honestly, I've seen more people use Ultra Gohan, Leader Slaughter on androids than I've seen them use Gammas. So they're definitely not going to be seeing much playtime after this season. But it's kind of crazy because these guys are not seeing that much playtime, and they're the second best yellow unit. So it just goes to show you that this color is kind of down bad. Fat Gotenks is there. I've actually encountered more Fat Gotenks than Gammas, believe it or not. And that's strictly because he works pretty decently on hybrids alongside the Green Gohan. Obviously, if you go up against a purple unit, he covers Green Gohan, Ultra Gohan pretty well. So there's that. He's also kind of annoying, you know, with when you pop his endurance, key reduction, all that stuff. So he's definitely an annoying unit to face, but he's not really that much of trouble if you have units like, for example, Ultimate Gohan. Obviously, Transforming Beast Gohan is what I meant, and then Super 17, right? And then Pangiru Assist, same reasons as Fat Gotenks. You don't really see her too much, but, you know, she does work on some of the better teams, Hybrids, GT, right? GT is not as good for her because GT is kind of mainly blast-oriented. You want to build G4 a bit blast-oriented. So she doesn't probably work the best. I forgot her stat spread, but I do think she's overwhelmingly higher on strike attack. I could be wrong on that. Maybe she's not, but I know she's a melee type, so she's not going to work the best on GT. You can still make it work, but if you're going to be using her, I think it's mainly going to be on the hybrids team there. So there's that. And then Golden Frieza, honestly, I just tossed him here because I couldn't really think of another yellow unit to put here. I was gonna potentially toss in Future Gohan, but even with hybrids being so relevant, you don't use Future Gohan. You don't really use him. Like I keep saying, I've faced multiple hybrids teams, and I haven't seen a single Future Gohan on any of the builds, even in Rating Match Proud, obviously, right? Where you need 6 units, he's not even included in that 6-man team, right? He's mainly Heat Dome Trunks is there, and I don't even know who the hell else is ran on it, like Fat Gotenks, yeah, and I guess Zenkai Buffers or whatever the case may be, but whatever the case. Future Gohan is just not on those teams, so I just tossed in Golden Frieza because I think he's still decent, right? He's decent, let me say decent. But his main team's LOE, like, sure, buddy, and then Unireps, he's not gonna be used. You rather just use Ultra UI Sign Goku, and if you're not gonna be using him, then you're just not gonna be running a yellow unit at all. So he's just there just because he's the best option I can find out of this list. Like, you can maybe put in Cell here, but even this Cell doesn't really see that much playtime on the Androids team anyway. So that's going to be the top 5 yellow units. Now let's finish this off with the top 5 green units. So here we have the top 5 green units. Quick disclaimer here, or a quick, I guess, something to note is I swapped out Goku and Bardock in the blue category and brought them here. I just tossed in Namek Goku to take the placeholder of Goku and Bardock since we can't use this guy twice. So this represents Goku and Bardock, and this represents Goku and Bardock, obviously. So let's go through the list. Ultra Gohan at the #1 spot in the green units. That's, I don't think, is a no-brainer, obviously. Gohan is very, very good. Gohan is very good. Now, who do I think? Does Gohan take the #1 spot in a top 10? Is he the best unit in the game currently? Now, it is very tough for me because I originally had Ultra Gohan at the #1 spot. Yes, I had him over Super 17 and Beast Gohan. And then I tossed him on the androids and so I can use Super 17 a bit more. And then Super 17 reminded me why he's so damn good. I used Super 17 and he was just making shit easy. He was just soloing practically, right? And then that got me to thinking maybe Super 17 is better. But I think I'm going to stick with Ultra Gohan at #1. So it's a very tough decision, man. I had to flip-flop between them multiple times. But I think I'm just going to stick with Ultra Gohan at #1. Strictly because offensively, I don't think it's close. Super 17 definitely is the better unit. But then everything else, I do want to give it to Ultra Gohan. I think it's harder to deal with Ultra Gohan than it is with Super 17, personally. Like, you had to get around his AoE green card, you had to get around his counter, you had to get around his unique gauge. He just has all these other things, his endurance, all these other things that makes it a lot more difficult to play against. So I think for those reasons, I'm gonna have him at #1 for me personally, and then Super 17. I think those two are on a tier by themselves, and then after that is like Ultimate Gohan, and you have the other units, blah blah blah, UI Goku and stuff like that. So those two are definitely top 2 units in the game. But for me personally, I have Ultra Gohan at the #1 spot here. Now, actually, if we take a look at the teams, maybe team-wise, Super 17 does take the mantle there, take the crown, because he's on like the better teams, like GT Androids. So there's that. But I don't think the team's argument is enough for me because Gohan is also on the best teams in the game. You have Saiyans, like Saiyan's Sun family, so UI Goku, Goku, Bardock. You can leader slot him on androids. So like the team's argument, like sure, yeah, GT is used a lot and like androids used a lot, but Gohan is also on those best teams, so they're practically the same in terms of team value, right? So it really just comes down to how annoying it is, which one I had the most difficult playing against, and it's definitely gonna be Ultra Gohan, right? So for me, he's at the #1 spot. But if you have like Super 17 over him, that's fine. I don't think Ultimate Gohan is over him. Like, sure, you could debate it, but like I personally don't see it. But I think you could argue Super 17 is over him. But that's the explanation for Gohan. Goku and Bardock, obviously, like I said, I already said before, he's ridiculous. Revival Pikkon or Super Goji, LF Super Goji is definitely the number 3 spot. And then from these 3, there's definitely a pretty sizable gap. And then we get Android 16 and then Evoken. Android 16, like, there's a pretty sizable gap. Like, it's almost the same gap between UI Goku and Gammas. I would say the same gap between Gogeta and Android 16. Android 16 is good. Don't get me wrong. He's very good. But you are not going to be seeing him. You see him sometimes. Like, even if Androids is popping right now, you are not going to be running into him. You're more often going to be running into Ultra Gohan Leader Slaughter on Androids than you're going to be running this guy. So, I haven't really faced him much, to be honest. But he's very good. I haven't used him because I don't have him. But from what I've seen, he is obviously very solid. The main, I guess, criticism there is with this unit is that he's a melee-based unit, and Androids is very blast-oriented. So, there's that, right? He's, I guess, essentially homeless, as people would like to say, but, you know, he's still a very good unit. And then we have Evoken, who has probably seen the biggest drop-off of any Legends Festival unit, Legends Festival 2023 unit, unfortunately, right? Since this guy is the one that everyone was expecting, right? Like, when people were thinking, what's going to be coming for Legends Festival? It's Tag, Evolution Blue Vegeta, and Kaioken Goku, right? And he is the worst aging one out of all of them. And it's not even close. Like, Beast Gohan, Goku Bardock, UI Goku, they're all top 5 units. Evoken is barely top. Like, most people don't even have him in the top 10. So it's kind of insane. Not to mention that Unireps have slowly been falling off in relevance. So that did not help him at all. But it is what it is for him. It's unfortunate, but, you know, shit happens. So I think that's going to be the top 5 for each colors. I think it's pretty solid. A lot of these colors have some like filler units, but, you know, I can't really do much about that. So if we decide which one is the strongest versus the weakest, so I think it definitely comes down to red versus green. I think it's green. You know why it's green? It's because purple is a very weak color. So that means green units are able to flourish more. If you like, for red units, for example, you have a lot of strong blue units here. For yellow units, you have a lot of strong red units, right? For blue units, you have a lot of strong green units. But for green units, you don't have that many strong you have strong purple units, but they're not as oppressive of a counter as the other ones. And that's only because of UI Goku, man. UI Goku is a partner for every single one of these 3 units. These are the ones you're going to be seeing in PvP. UI Goku is a partner for all these 3 units. And because of that, purple is very hard to bring in a purple unit. So I think green right now is the strongest color, which is crazy because, like I said, a couple weeks prior to Legends Festival, green was like the weakest color. So it's crazy how the tables have turned. Green is definitely the strongest. And if we take a look at the weakest, I think it's purple. I'm inclined to also go yellow, but I think UI Goku as a unit carries a lot more value and weight than Perfect Cell. Perfect Cell can't carry this color. UI Goku is carrying this color. So I think purple is the weakest right now, and green is the strongest. That's crazy. That is crazy. But that's going to be it for the list. As always, drop a comment letting me know if you guys agree or disagree with this list, what you guys would change. Who do you think is the best unit in the game? And all that stuff, definitely drop a comment letting me know what you guys think of this. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. That's it. So important, so don't forget. Have a great day. See ya.